Let's not sugarcoat it. This is gut check time for the Golden State Warriors. They have no more room to lollygag, and now help is on the way. Forward Draymond Green, he is back with the team after being reinstated by the league last weekend. He's missed the last 12 games, with the Dubs going 7-5 during that span, and they fell to 12th in the West. So now the question is, what happens now? Are the stomps, the punches, the suspensions in the past for Draymond Green? Is he worried about crossing the line?
My goal is not to come back and worry about crossing the line because I still have to come back and play the game the way I know how to play the game and be the best me that I can be for my team to help give my team a chance to win. Can I accept the fact that my antics has been over the top? Of course. Can I remove those? Am I capable of removing those? Of course.
No more buts. Just, an apology needs to be an apology, and then you move on. But then you have to learn from that apology. That's just kind of basic, standard, behavior, and that's what we need.
I've cost my team enough. I've cost this organization enough. And so it's not a time for me to just come back and be like, all right, I'm going to take my time and get back when I can. No, you caused this yourself.
I mean, what is that from Steve Kerr? An apology just needs to be an apology. That's what it is.
I thought it was the most important thing I was said yesterday.
Why?
Because Draymond is one of the savviest players when it comes to media that we've ever seen. And he's had a long time to think about what he's going to say. Mm-hmm. What Steve is saying is when he's being savvy with apologies, because I've seen Draymond do this before, where he'll say something, and then he'll very theatrically say, but
I need to be me.
Because he's very eloquent and knows exactly how to present a case. So
right.
I almost thought that was the most important thing. With Steve saying the line, don't say but anymore. That's what this means. Actions over words.
But no, sometimes it has to be the 3 dots because you got to add on to an apology because we don't want Draymond Green to change who he is as a basketball player because that's going to take away from the game of basketball in the Golden State Warriors, and it's not going to allow Draymond to be the best version of himself. Do I want him to go out and choke somebody out? No. Do I want him to slap somebody? No. But I do want Draymond Green to be the Draymond Green that's going to go out there and get in guys' faces, that's going to go out there and bring that tenacity, that's going to be talking noise, that's going to be clapping, bringing the intensity, bringing that fire and that dog mentality to the Golden State Warriors. That's who Draymond Green is. And that's why for over the past decade during their dynasty run, he has been the heart and soul of their team. Steph Curry has been the best player. Draymond Green has been the heart and soul. He has been that guy that's been that engine. And so at the end of the day, I understand those buts behind it because he's apologizing for the antics, but he's saying, I got to go continue to be me. I don't mind him getting a couple technical fouls for arguing some, calls with the officials. That's who Draymond is.
But it just can't cost his team anymore. And I think that, honestly, when I was watching this, hearing this, I just kind of sort of tuned it out. Because at this point, all that matters is what Draymond does on the floor, how he handles adverse situations, because he is the glue, like you mentioned, the heart and soul, but he is the thread. And so he can go up there, and I think what Steve Kerr alluded to is that this is a life skill. I mean, we all have, relationships in life, and we're learning that you can't put but in an apology. Like, people have been waiting to hear what he has had to say if he's been able to show a little bit of contrition. And I'm just like, at this point, we've heard a lot of words. You had a whole podcast. We don't want you to lose your edge. You're going to have to show us on the floor.
Right.
Because at this point, at this point, the stake is as high as it has ever been for the Golden State Warriors. And he is the key to saving this season. The reality is what he does offensively and defensively. Steph, it's not so easy without Draymond. We all see this. Defensively, he is the ultimate defensive guy. So, don't lose your edge,
but can we stop with this saving the season for the Golden State Warriors?
Oh, you're saying it's already lost?
Yes, let's stop with that. But look, it was a time while it was, Doc Rivers had to face the fact that he had Kendrick Perkins, Kevin Garnett, and Rasheed Wallace all on one team. And we led the league in technical fouls. And Doc kept saying, hey, guys, I need y'all to chill out. Till at one point he was saying, you know what, just be y'all. We just got to deal with the text. This is who y'all are. I'm not talking about the other things, but I'm saying when we talk about the but Draymond is saying, I can't go out there and just be a nice guy, a quiet guy.
I think we all know that.
Techs are fine. It's the suspensions. It is what the league has deemed to be out of control. And it's a tricky situation, right? Because the league looks at, okay, well, is this sorry enough? Right? They are in the business of litigating, was this enough? Was this enough time to say, you know what, you are welcome back on the floor to play this game? And that gets slippery. But what we know is that Draymond, it's not about whether or not he gets a tech. It's about whether or not he's around for Golden State, because Steph is so affected, even his play on the floor, when Draymond isn't out there.
Yeah, I mean, the real thing for the Warriors is that the lineup that they had that won the title 2 years ago, which is Steph, Clay, Draymond, Wiggins, and Looney. That is their championship lineup. By the way, when those guys played last year,
Jordan Poole.
He wasn't. Yeah, but even that's true. But
That was before time.
when those guys played last year, they were still one of the best in the league. Now look at them. That's where the Warriors' problem is. Like, okay, obviously Draymond's got to be there. He can't be sitting at home. He's got to be there. But that number, those guys, and like, I understand that Kuminga is playing better. I understand Podziemski is playing well. I understand that Trace Jackson-Davis has earned some playing time. That's all well and good. But unless those 5 guys play at the level they can play at, it isn't going to matter. And so Draymond's got to get back and do his part. Looney's got to do his part.
Right.
Wiggins got to do his part. Draymond's just a piece of it, but they don't get that back, it's all moot.
So the last time Golden State was this low in the standings, was 12th in the standings, was 2019-2020. That's when Steph was out. That's when they were missing all of their guys. That's when they got the number 2 pick that ended up landing them, James Wiseman. We won't talk about that part. But when you look at the standings and Golden State is 12th, Perk, you said that you think it's over. I mean, Brian, what is the path for them? Is the highest they can go, in your opinion, the play-in tournament? And
saw
who
2
there?
play-in teams reach the conference finals last year.
Sure, but who there are you bumping out?
I mean, if those 5 guys play to their ability, they're better than most of the teams in front of them. Like, it's a huge if.
Don't make me say it, Malika.
Say it.
I see my Rockets on there. No shade to my team, no shade to my squad. But, like, I think the expectations have shifted, and you're absolutely right, Perk. When we think about the Golden State Warriors, we talk about dynasty, and when we talk about dynasty, we think that they're competing for championships year in and year out. The idea that this is a championship squad right now dealing with this Western squad, the expectations have shifted. Well, they can still save their season to the point that they can compete, and we saw a play-in team make it all the way to the NBA Finals. Not saying that that's going to happen again for this squad.
It's not.
But they still can keep. I guess I think the Golden State Warriors want to keep the framework together, playing the best version of basketball as long as possible.
They're not beating the Denver Nuggets in the 7-game series. They're not beating the Los Angeles Clippers in the 7-game series. They're not beating the Los Angeles Lakers in the 7-game series. Don't even get me started with the LeBron and Steph, record when it comes to Steph not having KD.
Have we seen Steph Curry win his last title with the Golden State Warriors?
Hell yeah. Yes.
Probably,
yes.
But not definitely. And that's what they're trying to do.
This is so emotionally draining.
But Perk, you know this. When you were with the Celtics, when you guys had that lineup, you believed you could beat anybody.
We did when we was healthy.
You couldn't get it back together because you had injuries and stuff, but you always wanted to get back to it.
Yeah, we never lost a game when our starting 5 was healthy. And
that's what they want to get back to. They still believe it's there.
Well, the expectation is that Draymond Green will be back on the floor for the Golden State Warriors this upcoming weekend, and we will certainly be revisiting this.
NBA